Today, I want to take a moment to share a little bit more about what happened over the course of the last 6 months. So, first of all, it was awesome. So, like I mentioned on Monday, I hadn't had a chance to spend this much quality time with my mom in probably close to 30 to 35 years. But it wasn't just her. I had a chance to reconnect with my sister who lives very close to her. I had a chance to spend quality time with my niece who's just 10 years old. We went to amusement parks, we went to the movies. The only downside, I ended up eating more McDonald's, KFC, and Burger King than I cared to in a lifetime. But the experience was so rewarding, both for me and for her, because it deepened that relationship. I also hadn't lived in France since we left in 1981, and being able to have that experience was enriching, to say the least. I got new perspectives. I was able to look at things a bit of a different way, listen to other people's point of views, and that was awesome. I also got frustrated because mom's internet was so slow. She has fiber optic in the building, but she chose not to use it because they had to make holes in her walls, and she didn't want them to do that. So instead of getting frustrated with the fact that I couldn't work on my business, I set all that aside and I realized that that wasn't why I was there. I was there to spend time with my mom, to help her go to her doctor's appointments, to go grocery shopping for her, to run errands for her, to help her clean out her basement, whatever it was that she needed. That's what I was there for. And to be able to serve her in that way was absolutely phenomenal, because it helped to make this turbulent time for her easier, which was really the whole reason why I was there. At the same time, it gave me a chance to take a step back and to think about my own growth. I looked at my triggers, I reflected on why things were getting me aggravated. I learned to, and I'm still learning, to listen to my body more. I was so gung-ho on masculine push energy from my corporate world that I forget that there's a whole side of me which is really that feminine energy, which I hadn't really had a chance to tap into at a business level. I live in my personal life, I very much live in my feminine energy, but work was different. So it gave me an opportunity to change my approach, and instead of push, hustle, it was more about, this is where I'm supposed to be, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Enjoy the time that we have together, because I needed to give that space so that I could be more present for her, and I could also continue in my own journey. And what that allowed me to do is to really focus on being a human being and not a human doing, because I found that a lot of my significance came from always being go, doing. So that was a nice shift, and it's something that I'm still working on today, especially when I think about my triggers. So what this break did is actually help me realize that after I left corporate, I just jumped right into my coaching business. And I found that I had just given up one hamster wheel to jump on another hamster wheel. You know, the Energizer Bunny has all of this energy and he's always go, but I couldn't. I just couldn't continue to do this. So having had that break was wonderful in making me realize that there's another way to be, there's another way to live, there's another way to approach things. And for that, I am extremely grateful. So now I'm slowly dipping my toes back in the water, working on some new resources for you. I'm going to have a new productivity course that I'm going to launch before the end of summer. And I'm taking a step back and thinking about how can I serve you better, while also honoring myself and listening to the messages that I'm getting from the universe, because it's amazing what the universe shares when you're actually open to listening, or when you can actually hear what it's trying to tell you. I want to hear from you. I'd love to know if there are any topics that you want me to talk about, any challenges you might be facing, which you'd like to get a fresh perspective on. If so, reach out, because I'll tell you one thing that I've learned is that we are not the only ones going through stuff. And if you have a challenge, if you have a struggle, if you have a question, if there's something you want me to dive into, chances are somebody else is. So by helping you, we can help others.